Okay, e4, we follow with the knight. Of course, we want to follow with the other knight, but we're going to capture first. The knights make it into the center. Feeling good about that. Make sure we get a pawn into the middle. Have to lay some claim to the center of the board. Bishop out. You know, usually respond with a habitual pawn move. Little early snorkel. Bishop needs to move. Let's get that thing out. Can't really go to c4. Okay, and that's a capture. Let's go ahead and take that. Queen under attack. I always say get attacked. Easiest to just go all the way back. But wait, technically, you know, we could make use of a little Pinsky-Lewinsky. Wow. Level 2 has never felt so good. Wow. A great pin here. Let's make sure to get castled. Let's make sure to get our bishop out. Center. I can go here. And I will. Hello, Basmaniac. Welcome in. Oh, it looks like that's going to be a capture right there. Okay, queen is under attack. We need a safe square. I'm going to go d2. Something central. You guys know what's coming next. Rook's getting in. Then it's time for the good old RPMs. They've never failed us. Okay, here's the rook in the middle. And of course, offering a trade as well. Okay, I'm seeing red dot central here. So let's immediately get the king out of the way. That is not a that's not a good feeling. Like, you just don't like to have that that rook barreling down on the king like that. Bad things happen to good people. Let's get the knight in. Can we go to the middle here? No, but the middle here, absolutely. And we get a trade. This is a dream. Okay, takes. Well, let's go ahead and take with our rook. Also moving into the actual center. I think we could predict that are the rooks going to make it in the middle, and why would I go to d1 when we could stack the rooks up, right? So let's stack the rooks up together like this. Pawn to g6. Okay, well, the nice thing is here that we can win a queen, because if we go here, then, you know, the queen takes, and, you know, we lose 5 points, but we gain 9 points, so that's pretty good. Okay, take that queen. Five plus 5, 9. Yeah, we probably ended up on top there. Okay, let's get the RPMs in here. Okay, let's go ahead and go like this. We always have our trusty snorkel here. It's a little early. Feel like I'm not awake yet, but could have sworn we had snorkel accessibility here. And I definitely don't have it now. Okay. And my opponent's, well, I feel like he sent the wrong emote, no? He said 1-0, but I think he meant 0-1. Unless he's telling me I'm winning. Lil bro sent the crying emote. Oh my goodness. Getting dunked on here. He's just sending all the emotes. He didn't even know what they mean. Is that a fork emote? What's he forking? Ouch, I'm not even 900 after that. What the? Hold on. Hold on. The crazy head gamer said habits failed us. Oh, hold the fuck on for a second. Habits never fails us. We fail the habits. As we've seen right here, we've failed the habits. Hold on just a second. There has to be an explanation here. The habits cannot fail. They can only be failed. Now, I thought we were, doing something here. Didn't mind this at all. Okay, now this needs a... Okay, so we go here. So when he takes us, he's getting 5 points, but we're getting his queen. Yep, that doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest. I got the queen, so I won that trade. And what happened here? Okay, so let's start with what we do know. We have a snorkel, and to be honest, it is a little clogged up here. It is a little clogged up here. That's fair. But when I saw this, I thought, oh, we're all good, right? We got this. But it became clear that it was actually clogged up. But the clog was clogged up. There was a clog in the clog. So there's only one solution here. We needed to re-snork. But when are we re-snorking? Because we don't want to add in something that could get confusing, Because I can't sit here and say, hey, we're always re-snorking when our snorkel's clogged. I don't know that that's the play. Every time there's a bishop here, you got me moving like tons of pawns in front of my king. I don't know about that. Can we add in that you shouldn't give up 2 rooks for a queen? But I got his queen, though. We need a new habit for king's safety. Okay, hang on a sec. We're talking about habits failing. We're talking about need a whole new habit. King's safety's at risk. It's the first game of the day. Let's everyone calm down. Calm down, okay? We took 1 L. Everyone relax. It's not a national emergency. We just took 1 L. All right? We're okay. Now, if it happens again, remind me. But come on, we're okay. We can survive 1 L here. Guy got lucky. The guy got lucky. We just need to regroup and do the exact same thing again. And surely it'll work this time. We're under 900 though, and I'm desperate to get back. Pistola, thanks for the 51 months with Prime. Thank you, buddy. Good to have you back. Thank you. Guy was a sweaty anyway. Yeah. Okay, good. We're coping. All right, let's bring this cope into the next game. Pawn into the middle. Just warming up here for today. Okay, get our knights out. Perfect. Okay, take that pawn. No problem at all. Okay, we'll just put the knight into the middle. Okay, we'll just... Fuck me, I guess. Okay, get the knight out. Need to always make some claim to the center, so here goes nothing. That pawn in, and gotta get our pieces out. How are we getting them out? I mean, I can see that this bishop wants to go here. This bishop, however, doesn't have the 2 squares that it's used to going to. Doesn't have them available. So immediately I start looking at this one. It is a pin. Don't mind that. Bishop comes out. Okay, we can keep the pin for now. I'll do the same thing. Develop my my bishop a little bit. I'm really just not ready to come to terms with the fact that I might have to put this knight on a ridiculous e7 square. I'd like to put it here. And you're not going to catch me putting it there. So, I mean, I guess we got to bite the bullet here. Okay, first things first. That's not pinned anymore. I'll go ahead and grab it. I guess we're putting a knight here, man. This really sucks. I don't like this position. Not one that I enjoy. Okay, let's get castled. Quick as a flash. Bishop's coming here. I mean, this is perfect because I got a snorkel for you, pal. Yes, I do. Okay, we need our queen in the middle anyway, so I don't mind that at all. Rooks want to go to e8 and d8, and then probably time for some RPMs on the queen side. What does snorkel mean? It's this thing right here. You need it to breathe later in the game. We may be swimming in deep waters later. You just want to make sure that we always have a safety net. What's RPM? That's a great question. Another fantastic question. We are, of course, in the unique kind of classroom where new students just walk in and everything that we've discussed the entire time, we just repeat over and over because new students walk in every 30 seconds. So that's just the type of classroom we're at. And that is a free piece. We got to grab it. Oh. Okay, I guess it was a trade. It was a trade. No problem. No problem. Chalk it up to a trade. I'm good with that. Got our rooks in the middle. Okay. Pawn's looking a little loose. I mean, I guess we can sort of bring the queen back a little central here. I don't like it all on the side of it. It's not where it's supposed to be. So we can sort of get back into the center of the board and also provide some assistance there. Really don't feel comfortable with the queen away. Obviously, we put it there for a reason. We took a free piece, but if I went to take a free piece here, I'd most likely be looking to get back towards the center. Oh, hang on. Red dot. Absolutely not falling for that. Get the heck out of Dodge. When you see that beam pointed at you, it's time to move. Good things do not happen for black with the queen aimed straight at the king. Okay, we see so he's doubling up here and he's attacking this. Man, this is going to be the lamest move we've ever played, but we might have to defend our pawn here. Not really sure what else to do. Yeah, I don't know. This is an unfortunate move to have to play. We got our rooks in the middle. They look so great. I'm also waiting to get some RPMs in, but I just haven't had the time yet. For example, this move, I had to react. This move, I feel like I have to react as well. This is not a fun position. Let's see. Let's see what our buddy is trying to do here. Well, I feel that there's a rather unavoidable red dot, if that makes sense. I can't really, I can't really do anything about that one. Well, I think we might have to hit the old RPM button and see what happens. Because I got nothing here. I got nothing. Yeah, this is... I got literally every piece in my opponent's position aimed directly at my king's side. Including the pawn on e5. Feels like it's contributing, you know? Feels like it's contributing. Okay, queen to f4. Okay. So I guess it's possible for me to say, hang on a sec. We got red dot here, and there's no red dot here. So maybe we could go here. This is kind of a way to make everyone happy there. I'm stressed, but I don't like pieces aimed at my king, so I'm feeling a little bit safer on this square. I mean, to be honest, if he moved the queen back, I wouldn't really know what to do. Queen f5. Okay, so we have a nice fork here. You can utilize our nice level 2 abilities. Okay, hang on a sec. Now we have massive, massive red dot potential. Don't really see what we can do here, but what I can say is that our snorkel is under attack, and I think it needs some defense, right? Got to make sure we protect our snorkel, most important part of the position. Okay, something's telling me that we take extra pieces, free pieces. King is in check, which means got to retreat to safety. Rook f3. I mean, it's been a long time coming, but is it time to finally make my second RPM of the game? I'm feeling pretty proud of this one. Wow. Thank you very much, everybody. Move 26. Second RPM of the game. And it was the random pawn move that ultimately secured the win. Can't say nothing to me. Well, I wouldn't say we were delaying RPMs without reason, right? If somebody, if it's time for random pawn moves and someone attacks your queen, you're going to move your queen, right? That makes sense. So we just never really had time to do it. There was threats here. We had an offside queen, so this is kind of unusual for our position, so we brought it back. Then we had to react to this red dot. Then we had yet another threat near our king. And here, again, I'm always ready to do them. So finally, when I had a moment, I was like, okay, RPM time. Here, I saw a way that we could solve this red dot. Piece aimed right at your king, only a pawn in the way. Initially, it was this one that bothered us. Here, we didn't really have a choice because we can't get out of it. But here, suddenly we could go back, so that was nice. Here, there was a fork, and I mean, yeah. By the time we had to take a piece, by the time we had another pawn move, time to make another pawn move, the game was pretty much wrapped up. No blunders. That's all I see. Dub. On to the next one. Pawn e4. Not a bad start into the center. Get our two knights out next. And as usual, in a position like this, if our opponent is simply making no claim to the move d4, then we will do it. Nice to get those two pawns in the middle. We'll get castled. And we will go pawn to h3, I think. Get our snorkel in for later. That's a capture. Oh, that's another capture. And we got to move our bishop here, so we'll stay central. Okay, we got to move our other bishop, staying central again, and also hitting that square. We have the option to go here or here, but if possible, I always like to hit the further central square. Same reason we play bishop here and not bishop d3. Same reason if our knight was under attack, I would want to move here instead of here, if possible. Okay, time to get the rook in. That's a trade for us. Our queen comes up. Our other rook wants to get into the middle. Just following those good habits. That is a trade. So we're going to waste no time taking. Going to waste no time getting the rook in. And finally, with a snorkel, with the rook in the middle, with every piece ready, it is time for our RPMs. Random pawn moves. Underappreciated. Just keep sending, keep sending. Okay, that's a capture there. All right, so we've got to take this. I mean, both of these could be used. I'm probably going to take with the bishop. I could see an argument for either. The knight is hitting some central squares, so I thought may as well leave it there. All right, let's continue. RPMs, those random pawn moves up there. Okay, let's move the bishop. Again, if that's the center, I'll probably choose to hit that square first. Let's see how the opponent reacts here. Still have some pawn moves to get out there, but also remember, we are sitting in an endgame. So We're starting to lean a little bit more towards those other ideas, like making sure our king is in the middle of the board. Continuing to attack our opponent's pawns with our pieces, this sort of stuff. So let's see, it goes rook d8. Can definitely, try to live by that king in the middle rule. Play this one right here. Wrong time, I understand. Apologies, I'll come back later. Seems you have no interest in hearing what the Lord has to say about you. Okay. Okay. Well, having seen that fail, what can we do? What can we do? Well, how about a move into the middle of the board that also looks to trade a piece? That seems quite fulfilling, and I hope that we can come to terms with our friend here to permit my king safe passage into the middle. I would really appreciate that. What do you think? Can we make it happen, bud? Okay, that's a trade for us here. Okay, and let's make sure to activate our king, of course. Okay. All right, now we got to use our rook here, try to attack our opponent's pawns, right? We sort of have our king up, use our rook to attack opponent's pawns, and let's see how we can do. Okay, that's a trade. And I guess we'll attack our opponent's pawn here. Use our king. This has been I would say a rather constant reminder. Okay, keep our king in the center here. This has been a rather constant reminder, but yeah, use the king, right? It's a very powerful piece. Okay, guys attacking our pawn here. We most certainly can make a defensive concession here, and okay, let's keep our king in the center. See what we can do here. See what we can do. It feels like I'm up a piece, though. No, like this is the power of the king. We haven't played a great endgame, but it kind of feels like I'm ahead a piece. I'm just keeping my king in the center for now. Honestly, not too sure what what he's gonna do. So, okay, keep the king in the middle. Okay. Okay. Take this. Take this. Okay. Keep our king in the middle here. Okay. Let's take that. Try to use our king here. Okay. Using our king. Powerful piece. Okay, we'll trade that. Okay, could have worked out better. Could have worked out better. Could have worked out better, yeah. I felt we had more to offer this game. I felt we had more to offer. Yeah. Unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. He became a 900 there. It was only going to be one of us, wasn't it? It was only going to be one of us. Oscar. Well played, brah. Well played. Well, the position that we got ourselves into is exactly one that highlights, I would say, the major differences between king activation and not, right? Everything we've seen about this game, I mean, black is just playing with one rook. A single rook. And the fact that we have king and rook available against only a rook from our opponent is really always gonna be in our favor. I feel like we had a lot of opportunities in this game. We decided to just keep the king in the middle and chase this pawn down with the king, which felt like a pretty good strategy, but unfortunately, trade got us in the end. Got us in the end. How come I'm not resigning? Come on, bud. You can read the screen. Such an important habit. Such an important habit. The only way I think we really could have improved is to go pawn hunting more aggressively. But I really can't complain about this. I think this is a pretty good highlight of the advantage of having your king out. The only problem was we were kind of down a pawn and he kept everything protected. So it felt like maybe we were just going to draw or something. But hey, he kept going with his pawn, made it happen. And then hit us with a nasty trade at the end. We were compelled. All right. Well, let's go to the next one. I thought we were cooking there. Okay. Into the middle. We defend in the center with our knight. And before we hastily play our other knight out, although this would be normally a very good habit, the two knights, we must play bishop c5 here. As we have gotten used to in this series, this should no longer be a surprising move. This should be seen as a necessary move. The knights come out. We're going to match that. There we go. Okay, pawn up. Well, let's get castle ASAP. That's a trade, so happy to take that. Can move this pawn up in the middle. We got our snorkel coming next. Let's go ahead and do that. That's a trade. Knight needs to move. Does it have the center? No. Next best central square. Knight e7. So I don't even need to sit here considering all these other moves, because those four moves I only consider if these four moves are not possible. So you should never look at this as your first move. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order to consider. The bishop moves back. Our bishop needs to move out. Okay, let's hit that center. This is what we're here for. Bishop needs to move. Let's continue to hit the center. This one wasn't available, and You guys know we're all about the center. Queen is going to go up to d7. Rooks are going to come into the middle. Knight to h4. I think just continue with our plan here. Okay, we'll recapture that. Okay, we want to get our queen up, so we will do so. Other rook coming into the middle. All right, and we have a pretty nice rooks to the middle position. We have our pawn snorkel here to help our king. We have RPMs coming with pawns on the queen side. No problem. Okay, more RPMs. In a pretty nice RPM segment here. Random pawn move time. Okay, the power of random pawn moves. Let's take it. That was a strange decision. Sure. Okay, well, let's go ahead and use our snorkel here. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. And once again, the random pawn moves prove to be just brilliant. I have another pawn move in the middle of the board, so most likely I'm looking at that one next. Okay, the rook comes up. I think it's time for our next random pawn move. We only have one, so maybe it's not that random. Okay. Take in the middle with our queen. We're also preparing yet another pawn move. And you guys know we would never consider moving pawns over here. None of the kingside pawns. Those are not random pawn moves. Well, geez, I'm really going to have to think about this one. Come on. It's too easy. Come on. Let's go. All we did was bring the rooks to the middle, hit the random pawn moves, buddy sacrifice for no reason. I'm like, I don't know what that's all about. Sure, I'll take it. I'll fall for it. Random pawn move in the middle, offer more trades. Guy hangs his queen. You guys can make that game happen. No problem. DevLab, thanks for the 100 bits. Spicy Indian Swag, 39 months with Prime. Bath time. Thanks for the new Prime. Apex Monkey, thanks for the 18 months with Prime. And Eadwig, thanks for 21. Let's go. You know, the losses, they take a toll on the people, on the habit supporters. But I tell you, right back at it. All of a sudden, you can feel the optimism within the ranks. Hello, Greg. Hello, Latin and Blonde. Yes, 900 for the first time. Okay, we're happy to be here. No Title Tuesday. Oh man, we missed Title Tuesday? Oh my goodness. Hate it when that happens. Every week. Just try to make it in time for Title Tuesday. I always forget. Well, there's always next week. There's always next week. Let's continue. Pawn into the middle. E4. Then comes the knight. Oh, okay. That's a capture, so obviously got to take that. And then other knight to hit the queen. These knights just make us happy. Let's get the bishop out. Feeling a little pressure there, so probably just make our claim to the center with just that instead of maybe the d4 move we might be used to. And obviously we'll get castled. Obviously we have our snorkel. Our bishop needs to move. Both bishops pretty happy here. Rook into the center. Queen up. Rook into the middle. I mean, here we go. This is a model game here. Okay. Got to move our bishop. Obviously, if the center is important, then we want to stay attacking it. So here goes nothing. Knight over there. And now we can really think. What do we want to be doing here? Rook's in the middle. Check. Right? Got our bishops, our knights, our snorkel. Queen's moved. Time for some RPMs. Now let's get started here. I have to take it back, whether I like it or not. So there goes nothing. Knight needs to move. Where do we go? Look in the center first, right? The squares you consider in order are 1, 2, 3, 4. No, yes, stop looking. That's it. Okay. No problem at all. Got a few RPMs to get in here. Maybe some trades, doubling the rooks. Okay, what can we do here? Finish up our RPMs, I think, and go from there. All right. We got to think to ourselves here. How to continue? At this point, usually I'd be thinking about pieces into the central squares or the age-old classic, doubling the rooks. Can we double the rooks? Well, kind of got our queen here, so we could either move the queen and double the rooks after, or we could like double the rooks on top of the queen, or we could double the rooks on the e file. It doesn't make sense to me to double the rooks here, right? It's all about the d file because it's clearly wide open. So I would say doubling on the d file makes probably the most sense. So let's go ahead and move to the side here and see if we can get doubled. Okay, it is time to probably continue with that plan, doubling the rooks here. Happy enough with that. Kind of feels like the d file is a little bit closed now that he played that bishop move, but still, you know, I feel we should be doubling. Okay, we're going to need another plan soon. Kind of finished up with that one. Can we get some trades? Can we move any pieces into the middle of the board? I don't know. Okay, he's doubling up as well. I've moved pretty much all the pawns that we can move. I can't really move any pieces completely into the center. So I'm not Not 100% what we should be doing. I'll go here. I mean, a little more central. Starting to look at this knight. Maybe we could reposition it, but for now, I think I'll just, I'll hang. I'll hold steady. Stay central and honestly wait for him to clarify things for us. We get to use our snorkel. Love that feeling. Love that feeling. You just move back. But I can move back as well. I'll always repeat. I'd like to offer my opponent a grandmaster draw. Okay, he wasn't interested in it. Kind of stuck here, honestly. Kind of stuck. I don't really have a good move, so I'll bring this rook back and hope for the best. What do you got for me, bud? Okay, we gotta trade those. I guess we could take this pawn here. It is quite close to the center. It feels like a smart thing to do. Oh, we get to use our snorkel. Perfect. This guy's giving me many snorkel uses here. So get that RPM up the board there. Okay, we have some trades. So obviously let's take that. Have some trades to make. Oh. It's a good thing my hawk-like vision spotted this great tactic here. Great fork. That was close. Almost missed that. Thankfully, we have the habits here just to help us out. Perfect. Now we can just go ahead and take that. Awesome. Okay. Take that, and we are in the end game here. We are in the end game. I'm also looking at our opponent's pawn as a little bit of a runaway here. Got to make sure we stop that guy. How do I get this damn rook? Because we always kind of we gotta get that rook in front of the pawn. That's how we remember handling our tough pass pawns like that. Let's get in front of the dang thing. Okay. There we go. And our king is so far away. It doesn't feel great to have that king tucked away like it is. Okay, bishop comes in, and what can we do here? Guess it's time, to move our king in. I mean, we could offer some trades with our guy here. Maybe with the bishop. Endgame. I mean, we got a rook in front of the pawn. I desperately need my king in. We could actually make it in this way. That'd probably be the smartest. Got to take it back, of course. Okay. We can actually take this pawn. Take that. Obviously take that. And it's time to get our king in. Okay. King into the middle here. Okay. Got our king in, maybe a few pawn trades here. Get our RPMs going. RPMs. Okay. Let's get our pawns up there. That's what we like. Make sure to use the center of the board. All right, and we have a rook. Let's hope that we can make this checkmate happen here. I mean, can we remember the checkmate pattern? It's going to be tough here. It's going to be real close, but luckily we've been drilling this. Whew. Jeez. Thank goodness we've been working so hard on this. That's what we like to see. The work is really paying off. This rook checkmate, I tell you, it's really made some appearances. How helpful. We only had a couple seconds and we were, able to make it happen there. And the phallic finish comes in once again. Thanks for the 29 months, Fraggledorf, DevLab. 100 bits, once again. Hello, Ryan. This is something, that everyone who's been drilling their homework will be able to accomplish, of course. Now, it might seem daunting, but this is why I tell you this is the optimal checkmate strategy. Imagine that you tried, your other checkmate strategy with like check and check and check and check while slowly working the king down. I mean, it would take forever, but the box gets real small real quick. And the checkmate always looks the same. Thanks to the Crazy Head Gamer. 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Crazy Head Gamer. We found a way to ensure that we did not fail the habits. Did we go over the rook mate with the circle? Absolutely. We've been drilling this like crazy for the last week. It's been your homework to work on it. The Twitch VODs are not available. This is the point. So I feel like people are asking, where's the last one? Some of the kick ones are available. Some of the kick ones, but no, the point is not to have them chilling. I'm not trying to have VODs available for you guys to find. We're trying to encourage attendance. You got to be here live. Otherwise, you can catch it on YouTube later. Yep. Mans UK, if you missed homework assignments, so you can catch up with one of the class members, Take someone's notes. You pulled this one off, Greg? Who were you battling? Did you have someone, another Greg, play the other side? Or did you just, set it up, play both sides? Both are good. Probably once they're released tarnished. I mean, the VODs they won't be made available, right? They'll be uploaded in full. So, like I said, be here live or catch them on YouTube. Ryan, this is very impressive. We love to hear this. Everyone should be a little bit better at this rook checkmate now. We've used it so many times, very effectively. What do you know? It came in handy here. We were able to do it in under 10. I don't know. Where did we start? All right, we had 6 seconds. And it wasn't even that many moves. Let's see how many moves we made. Not even 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 moves. 8 moves. Pretty good. I'm 8-8. Not complaining. We're at 9-12. Let's get back in here. Got to continue. Remember, we don't get out of beds for checks. We're above that. We don't get out of bed for something as low ball as a check. I'll get out of bed for checkmate, though. You could get me excited about checkmate. I don't think we've had to do that one yet, Mance. Yeah. It hasn't come up, but I tell you, this rook checkmate, this has definitely come up. So hopefully you've gotten a little bit better at this checkmate. That would make me happy. It has a very simple pattern. Definitely might take some time to learn the pattern, but at least the moves that are asked of you, required by you, every single move are predictable and they never change. Depending on where the king starts, it might take you a little bit longer, but you can see here with only 6 seconds on the clock, and we didn't even need the full time. You can see how we did pretty well. So it can definitely help you in the crunch. You know, when you need it. All right. Time for the next one. Okay. Pawn into the middle. We match those. Pawn up. We take those. Get our knights out. As per usual. Time to move this bishop. I'm thinking center. So let's go right for it. Okay, then comes our pawn. Our other bishop is looking at the center as well. We get castled. Okay, pawn into the center. Don't mind if I do. I'll snatch that off, and we have our bishop here to back it up. And wow. I can't tell you how dumb that was by our opponent. At 900 ELO, losing a pawn and resigning the game. Might be the stupidest thing. He just threw away a win. Certainly a potential win. I mean, what the hell? This guy's striving for perfection. Ugh. Suboptimal opening by me. Got to go to the next one. I mean, what? I'm not doing anything freaky here. There's no magic voodoo. There's just the habits being too damn strong. Brazilian Monk, thanks for the 100 bits. You guys are seeing it right in front of you. You can't tell me the habits ain't super strong. Well, with that being said, I think we just go on to the next one. All right, Rob. Which pawn is it going to be? This one. We match. Okay, bishop out. Let's get our knight out. Obviously, we got our other knight to follow. Get those two knights out together. Wondering if Rob is going to bring this knight out. That would prompt us to play that move if we remember, right? We don't want to get got. Okay. I was going to say maybe will Rob make any move at all? That's the new challenge. Okay, we do get a move from Rob. And it's time to get this bishop out. Am I predictable yet, guys? Bishop attacking the center. Knight goes to the side of the board. We can actually continue to develop our pieces and defend our bishop. So this is all right with me. Let's get our bishop out, hitting the center. We did not have this as an option. Obviously, we love a good trade. Let's get castled. And okay, queen attacking our pawn here. Well, you know, I'd like to play h6, but maybe we can defend it first. Is this crazy? Okay, maybe it was crazy. Well, we know we need our queen out, which is why I went here. We need our rooks over, but now our pawn is attacked, and well, our snorkel can't really do too much about it. So yeah, okay, let's just stick with what we know here. The snorkel up there on h6. Queen needs to move now. I guess we go here. Stay central. Okay, rook's into the middle. Okay. G5. No problem here. Just go ahead and take that. Okay. Go ahead and take that. Only one move. Not going to stress yet. Okay. Just got bulldozed there, didn't we? That absolutely wrecked. Do we stress now? I mean, honestly, the game's over. What are we stressing about? I think we made it out of that game stress-free. Okay. Well, we've clearly failed the habits here. It seems that we took everything, although we could admit that maybe if we foresaw that there was really no way to protect this by keeping up our habits, then probably this move was no good. We should have just played this right away. But I'm not sure that would have helped us that much. Maybe prolonged it at least. Tough loss there. Don't really know what we did wrong, honestly. Now, it's possible we could kind of save our bishop instead of going here. I don't really mind this at all, but bishop attacked, we could just stick to our usual habits and bring the bishop into the middle, right? And then if it gets attacked again and move it away again, that feels reasonably solid. Don't really mind this, but somehow we weren't really ready to handle it. So maybe just stick with our usual habits. Can we protect it with g6? I mean, just ask yourself. We're at 913. Have you ever seen me play g6 in this speed run? I could probably think of maybe like 10 games, and all 10 of them are when the opponent plays e4, queen h5. Pretty much every single one. And what is g6? g6 not part of anything. that we've ever done. Better not to invent moves. Better not to invent moves. If you haven't seen your move commonly in this series, it's probably not a good move. For example, how many times have you seen knight a5 in this series? Knight h5, knight a7, right? Knight h7. Pretty infrequent, right? And if we're talking about knight h7, there's been pretty clear outlines that every position has probably looked the same when it's happened. How many times have we seen knight a1 in this series? These are just rare moves. Like, if they haven't occurred in all the games that we've played up till now, they're probably not good. So, better not to be an inventor. Okay, pawn into the middle. Let's go. And that's a trade. Starting off with a nice, easy set of moves. Okay. Bring our knights out. Knight needs to move. Into the center we go. Okay, knight needs to move again. I guess we'll go here. Not exactly how I'd like to spend my time. Okay, let's get this knight out. Don't feel that we've done a great job. Geez, okay. We have some initial problems here. I got my two knights out, but clearly we have issues. Big issues. I don't really want to move my queen out because my bishop needs to move so I can castle. So if I go here, I know I'm really killing my habits. So I think we'll bring the knight into the center and just kind of block that up. Still, my bishop has some squares to move to. Where can we get this thing? Bishop out can still go to our usual square. So I think we'll keep it that way. Okay, that's a trade. At least that's an easy one for us. And we can castle. Gonna need to play this, otherwise our bishop is never gonna see the light of day. So this is it's a move I have to play. Truly, if I don't play this move, bishop's never joining the game. Take it with the queen, offer a trade. I'm always up for that. And now we've got time to play our snorkel, and we want to bring our rook to the middle. We want to bring our bishop up. So, I mean, bishop kind of wants to go here, but can't really do that right now. So, rook into the middle. Would like to get the bishop up to a real square here, but not quite possible. King with only one square. No problem at all. No problem at all. Not stressing, not stressing. Knight to h4. Okay, well, I mean, we'd like to get our bishop out here, but there's not really a way to do that. So I guess we can just get our rooks in the middle, and position looks pretty good. Well, you have to agree that it looked good. Just, from a visual, sort of a optical standpoint, it did look good, right? There were some satisfying elements to this position, kind of aesthetically. But it was not. It was not good. It looked good, though, but it wasn't. It was terrible. It was, okay, we were lost. Got it. We were dead lost. Okay, a 900 just hit us with a beautiful checkmate attack, and I mean, you could even argue smothered mated us to some degree. The endless smothered mate debate. Is this a smothered mate? Yes or no? Where do you stand on the burger versus sandwich debate? Is this a smothered mate? Okay, everyone's saying no. Perfect. Okay, so we did not get smothered mated. Awesome. I'm definitely going to take that one. Thank you. Okay, so how about if the knight was on, or the queen was on g8? How about that? Because you guys are saying, like, you know, it makes sense. There's another piece here, right? So how about if the queen was on g8? Surely is smothered mate then. Wait, no? Still no? Well, hang on a sec. What's the definition here? So you're saying no smothered mate because the king could still move, but now we got the queen here. We need a piece on e7. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Queen on g8 and rook on e7. How about that? Rook on e7 and queen on g8. How about that? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That would be smothered mate. Okay, let's look this one up. Smothered mate definition. Checkmate in which the king has no vacant square to move to and is checkmated by a knight. That's what Google Dictionary says. The mate is usually seen in the corner of the board. King completely surrounded. Got it. Got it. So pieces need to be here. Tough critics you are. Tough, but correct. Well, the king can't have any vacant squares, Andrew. This doesn't count as vacant. It doesn't mean, like, I mean, this does count as vacant. You can't say that, like, this square doesn't count because there's literally nothing there. So it's technically vacant. It doesn't matter that you can't move there. It's still vacant. So I believe you guys are in line with Google. In line with Google. Okay, noted, noted. Well, it's good to know that the real winner of this game was us, not getting smother mated. Which means we can jump in to one more game. Pawn into the middle, e4. Take it slowly here. Got to get back on the winning track. Knight out, other knight to follow. Okay, bishop next. Hitting the center. Good square. We got castling ASAP. Hit him with the snorkel. Take it back. Queen is hit. Always comes straight back. Nice and safe back here. Nothing to worry about. Then our pawn up. Our bishop can't quite go there, which would be nice to hit the center, but it's got another square available, so let's do that. Okay. Okay, we're going to take this. Our knight needs to move. Check the squares in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, no, yes, stop looking. That's it. Okay, pawn takes. Always making captures. Bishop wants to keep hitting the center, and so we'll take care of that. queen up. Guess we'll bring our rook in, kind of do something similar with our queen. Okay. Bring our queen here. Interesting. Not Kurt Andrew. He's definitely up to something here. Don't really know what the guy's up to here, so we'll just take a pawn in the center of the board. Okay, only one square. We're not going to stress. Not yet. Okay, well, that's a trade. At least we can get that nice trade in. Bring our rook to the middle, offer another trade with the guy. I think we need to regroup here. We need to recircle up. Something is afoot here. Something is afoot. You're getting absolutely, like, we're sitting here with a snorkel, and yet we're getting absolutely torched on that exact square. That's the one square I'd expect there to be nothing but safety. Truly. We need to regroup. Timeout. Timeout. Okay? Got to take a timeout. Got to regroup and really see how to handle this. Short recess. Taking a timeout. Everybody take timeout themselves. We're reconvening in 5. We need to circle up and find out how to handle this. I feel like the last couple games, we've suffered the same way. In this series, whenever we suffer, time and time again, the exact same way, it needs to be looked into. That's how it's always been. And I feel we've reached that point. So let's circle up in 5. BRB. All right. Circle up here. What's the prognosis? Hello, Darkmine. No, we're 897 rated. Struggling with this issue here, though, and I feel that we can work it out as a group. You know how we can handle this going forward. So, what were the games? It feels like there was a few. There's maybe even one earlier, I can't remember. This one. Definitely this one. This one. This one. And this one. It was 3 in a row plus the one earlier. Let me see if I missed any comments here earlier. Mr. Menitekel says, I'm surprised you got to 900 with these rules. The habits are that good, man. That's all you need. Darkmind 1664 has a few sage words of advice here. When you see a bishop behind a queen in the same diagonal, a bell should ring in your head. Okay. We have the bell ringing technology. Dark Mind, what's your rating? Can we learn from you? How do you know when the bell? How do you know what the bell means? What does the bell tell you to do? Right? Sometimes the fire alarm goes off. That should tell me to, you know, go outside maybe. I don't always go outside. Okay, so in this one, we had a bishop aimed at this square. We got back rank mated because of it. In this one, we had the queen and bishop aimed at this square, but honestly, I thought we had everything defended. We had the pawn safe. We had the knight here even. This one was kind of brutal. And then in this one, the bishop and the queen lined up. We had played this. We didn't have a knight here, to be fair. And then that was enough. Queen came in, and that's all she wrote. And same thing here. Bishop and queen lined up. Eventually. And that was all she wrote. So what? The bishop and the queen line up, and what? What do we do? Same thing here. And I'm not sure it's the same thing here. I guess they're still lining up. You can still count that as being lined up. I don't know. And here they weren't even lined up. This is a different problem. No, good habits not refuted. Hold on just a second. We just need to problem solve here. Knight covering that square would be nice. Here, for example, I don't have one. Here, I already did have one, and I still lost. Here, we didn't have one, and I couldn't get one there. And here, I couldn't get one there either. So it seems kind of tough. In all the examples we have here, I don't really have that option. You vote for double snorkel. Double snorkel, eh? it has to be well timed. You know, as soon as this diagonal is threatened, because it's also a weakening move, you know? In the last game, we could have brought knight f3. Could we? I thought we were too late. So I like the double snorkel idea. We have to be careful with it, though. Only doing it if the bishop and queen are lined up, right? It is the Pieski. So we'll have to come up with a new name for this so we don't get confused. This is the double snorkel when we save our bishop over there. So this is going to need a new name. These are all great suggestions, but they're just not rolling off the tongue. What about the super snorkel? Emergency snorkel is really a mouthful. Safety snorkel, I don't mind as well, but I worry that it might get confused for just the original, which is, you know, effectively also a safety snorkel. That's really the main purpose of it. Whereas the super snorkel clearly implies it's like the original, but a little bit more, a little bit bigger. Safety snorkel I don't like because it almost implies that the original one is not for safety, which it most definitely is. Does it have to be a snorkel? Absolutely. Or nothing if not consistent. So I can see the need to introduce this because this diagonal is just killing us. I see it. Yep. I like this suggestion. I like this suggestion. Okay, I feel confident. We came to this conclusion together. Majority rule. I think moving the G-pawn is going to have to happen. It's going to make my king feel a little bit more airy in the position. So I have to remember, I'm only doing it if I see the pieces lined up and H2 is targeted, or H7, right? Because if you start playing this move just all the time, I don't know if that's really correct. So here's the thing. If there's only a bishop here, am I playing this move? That seems like a lot, right? There's a bishop aimed at this square probably all the time. I think that's way too much to commit. I think it's only if the queen and the bishop line up. So here, for example, I don't know that this move would be jumping out at me. Correct, quantity sufficient. At the moment, we can only grant approval for level 2 habits enjoyers to play the move g3 or g6 when there is a queen and bishop involved. The bishop on its own, we can't grant approval yet. Better in the long run to stick to the habits. But after 3 L's in a row, with the queen and bishop lined up, we can address this and say that a super snorkel is needed. Well, Chris Tamir, how many times has this happened? Pretty rare, right? But the queen and bishop, we had 3 losses in a row, back to back to back. That's a clear problem. Right? If you're on a ship and it's leaking and there's a tiny, tiny hole and then a huge gaping hole, I'm definitely going to be patching up the bigger problem. It's insane what we're doing here. Shows how bad 900s are. You mean my opponents for setting up the queen and the bishop? Or you're not a fan of our problem solving? You don't feel we've come to a good conclusion? I thought that, did a pretty good job in all these cases, saving our tail here. I was pretty satisfied with that. Well, maybe we can learn from you, Dark Mind. I'm sure that every time a queen and bishop are lined up against you, the bells ring and you react accordingly. Seniors picking on freshmen. That's right, quantity sufficient. I feel it. I feel it. Tim, we can only hope it serves us well. We can only hope it serves us well. Darkmind, what's your chess.com account? Maybe I can learn from you. As a 900, I have to represent my people. Surely you've never made this mistake. Darkmind is going to stuff us into lockers after class. I feel it. Someone has to stand up to him. He's going to be taking everyone's lunch money. I think we came to a good solution here, and I'm willing to stick with it. Trying to stand up for the 900s here, chess beans. In fact, I'm not even one, and I'm still fighting the good fight here. We are not even a 900 anymore. Mr. Dort, I'm not sure you understand the point of the series. There are rules that and many constraints on us here to very realistically simulate what it's like to play at 400, 500, 600, beginning in chess. We're not always playing the best move, most certainly not, but we're playing high percentage moves. And over time, that will definitely lead to our rating going up, to us improving at chess. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, I didn't hear from him, Green Goon. Yeah, I was waiting there. Dark Mine is ready to bully all the 900s, but all of a sudden, radio silent there. Radio silent. High percentage moves, Rare. I didn't say good. I said high percentage. Dark Mine is too embarrassed to share his account. Well, better think twice before picking on your juniors there. There's good money to be made betting that Dark Mine's account has this checkmate blundered a lot. A lot. And he's out here saying that it's easy. Okay. All right. Well, at least we have an answer to it now, so we can jump into games feeling a little more empowered. That's the hope.